So, in this video, let us see the top 10 bizarre curses which happened in the history. So, number 10, Joke Torp Aruneston. This is one of a group of runestones found in Blekinge, Sweden, dating back to the 6th century AD. The stones measure up to 4.2 meters in height. Some of the stones appear in circles while others stand alone. The Joketorp stone bears the following inscription: The master of the runes conceal here runes of power. A local legend relates that the curse was once tested and proved. A very long time ago, a man wanted to remove the stone as to get more land to cultivate. He piled wood around it in order to heat it up and then crack it with water. The weather was dead calm and there was no wind. He had just lit the fire when a sudden gust of wind turned the direction of the flames, setting the man's hair on fire. He threw himself on the ground to extinguish it, but it spread to his clothes, and the poor man died in the terrible agony. However, the fire around the runestone was extinguished as if an enormous hand had enveloped the stone and smoothed the fire. Number 9. The Curse of the Bambino. The curse of the Bambino refers to the run of bad luck the Boston Red Sox experienced after trading Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees in 1920. Up until that time, the YN Yankees had never won a World Series and hoped that Ruth would change this for them. He did. After the trade, the Boston Red Sox did not win the World Series again until 2004. During their winning game, a total lunar eclipse occurred, a first for the World Series. Even more dramatic was the fact that the 2004 win was against the New York Yankees. Number 8. Course of Tippecanoe. William Harrison won a presidency in 1840 with the slogan Tippecanoe and Taylor too, a reference to the Battle of Tippecanoe. He did 1 year later. From the year through the election of Ronald Reagan in 1980, every president elected in a year and ending in a zero died during their term. The years and presidents who suffered this curse were 1840 Harrison, natural causes; 1860 Lincoln, shot; 1880 Garfield, shot; 1900 McKinley, shot; 1920 Harding, natural causes; 1940 Roosevelt, natural causes; 1960 Kennedy, shot. Interestingly, an assassination attempt was aimed at Reagan. Had it succeeded, he would have died before the end of his first term. Number 7, Curse of Superman. The Superman curse refers to the misfortunes that occurred to people involved with the Superman story over the years. Probably the most famous people to have been allegedly afflicted by this curse are George Reeves, who played Superman in the television series, and Christopher Reeve, who played the character in the early movies. George Reeves committed suicide, and Christopher Reeve became paralyzed after falling from his house. Number 6, the curse of the Billy Goat. The curse of the Billy Goat struck the Chicago Cubs after a Greek immigrant, Billy Sians, was ejected from a game after he tried to parade around the field with his pet goat. When he was thrown out, Sianis cursed the Cubs, saying they would never win another game at Wrigley Field. They lost the World Series that every that year, and for 20 more years they remained in the second division. In 1967, the streak ended. Number 5, James Dean's Porsche. In 1955, iconic film star James Dean was killed in an accident involving his Porsche Spider. George Barris purchased the wreck of the car for $2,500 while his mechanic was trying to repair the car. It slipped and broke both of his legs. In 1956, two cars racing with spare parts from the Porsche were involved in an accident. One of the drivers was killed. The car disappeared in 1960 and its whereabouts is unknown. The Kennedy curse. The Kennedy family appears to be suffering from a curse which is now known as the Kennedy curse. Several members of the family died young, including both John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert, both assassinated while in office, and John F. Kennedy Jr., who was killed in a plane crash. Other members of the family to have suffered from the curse are J.F. Kennedy's sister Rosemary, Joseph Kennedy, who was killed during World War II, Edward Kennedy Jr., who had a leg amputated at the age of 12, and Michael Kennedy, who was killed skiing. Number 3, the Hope Diamond. The Hope Diamond has been around since 1642. It is a brilliant blue diamond weighing 45.52 carats. Legend states that the diamond was stolen from a statue in India, causing the curse to begin. The thief was ripped apart by dogs in Russia after selling the diamond. The diamond ended up belonging to King Louis XVI of France, who was murdered by revolutionaries along with his wife, Queen Mary. It was eventually donated to the Smithsonian Institute and is now on display as part of the National Gem and Mineral Collection in the National Museum of Natural History. Number 2, the 27 Club. The 27 Club is the game given to the group of highly influential musicians who all died at the age of 27 There are various lists of members because some dispute the level of influence of some lesser known members. Accepted names of the list are Jimi Hendrix, James Miller, Janis Joplin, and Cobain. So the last one is number one, the curse of Tutankhamun. Few months after the opening of Tutankhamun's tomb, tragedy struck. Lord Cameron, the financial backer of the search for Tutankhamun's tomb, 50 years, was taken ill and rushed to Cairo. He died a few days later. At the moment of his death, the lights in Cairo went out and his favorite dog began howling on his estate in England. When the mummy was unwrapped in 1925, it was found to have an identical mark in the place when Corner, Carnarvon was bitten. 5 years later, over 11 people connected with the opening of the tomb had died, some through suicide and unexplained circumstances. One of the victims left a suicide note which read, I really cannot stand any more horrors and hardly see what good I am going to do here. So I am making my exit. These are the 10 top 10 curses.